you want to find a good book to read, then snap your fingers and follow me. At Black Girls Inc. will help you find that book, the perfect book for you to read. From Black authors that look like you and me, here on Black Girls Inc. with Sister Goose and Sugar Mommy. Here on Black Girls Inc. Good afternoon, everybody. Or is it evening? Or early afternoon? One of the two, but it's an earlier time for us today. But I'm excited for the reason why. Because today, y'all, okay, I'm a fan of the person we're about to talk to. She has not only her own show with her co-host, but she also has a book as well. She is a loving mother, a caring family member. She's a godly woman. I just love this woman all around, the whole 360. And now you say my whole 360. I love everything about her. And I am so excited to be able to interview her. So get them fingers ready and help me snap in order Daphne Hampton. Hey!
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I am so excited. I am just intrigued by the name of your show. I am intrigued that your mother is your co-host. And I love that you are a part of the movement, a part of this Black Girl Magic, Black Girl Inc. movement. And I am just honored. And I also want to thank you for watching my show. I mean, you found me by watching my show and your feedback was so awesome. And I just want to say thank you.
I really so appreciate it. Yes, thank you. I love the show. And I'm going to try not to act like a fan because that's how much I love the show, y'all. Try.
You're so sweet.
Let's start with our first question. Can you tell everyone the name of your show and what it is about?
The name of the show is the Most Daphinatly Show. Kind of play on words like most definitely. And I had the pleasure of going to Morocco, Africa last January. And the rehab that we stayed in, some of the guys that were our hosts that took care of us, they started saying, most definitely. And they treated us like kings and queens when we were there. And the name just kind of stuck with me. You know, that was like my nickname when I was my first time in Africa. That was my first time in Africa, and to have someone to honor me and think that, you know, just say most definitely, it was so special. So like I said, the name stuck with me. And then when COVID started, I was just here, and I'm here in Germany. I have the pleasure of being in Europe. And it was just, I saw on my time that there was just a need for something positive. It was so much negative, so many people dying. You know, the hospitals were being full. You know, it was the unrest. The cops were killing Black people. I mean, it was just so much going on in 2020. And I started going on, basically, I was giving out books for free. And one of my friends, she sent me an inbox. She said, Daphne, every time you get off, I'm so encouraged. You should start doing this more often. So I prayed about it, and I didn't even wait. I prayed about it. It's like, if it's a need for it, I have it. I have the resources. I'm going to do it. So I started putting in the work. And that was on one Wednesday. And the following Wednesday, I started the Most Daphne Show. And our mission is simply to set a forum for individuals that can come, relate, release, and elevate. We just wanted people to be able to come and release. And it wasn't even all about authors or any type of just one profession. We just wanted to be an open forum. So many people have so many gifts. So much potential is in the graveyards. And anytime you got a chance to open a forum and it's free, you know, it's like, use all of your resources. And it was just like, it was a no-brainer for me. I got in touch with Amber. Amber was on board. We had a production manager. She volunteered, and it just went from there. And now we're on our 31st episode.
Yes, look, give her some snaps, y'all. Yes. Look, and I was going to bring that up because I was watching the replay, the 30th episode.
So that means we have
Wow.
30 hours of content and beautiful guests. I mean, it would show would be anything without our guests. I mean, we've interviewed and we've met at least 30 new people, and we've had people come on that knit and their job has that their career has flourished. We have people that come on, they make waist beads, we've had people come on, they sell clothing or they make t-shirts. So it didn't matter. We just wanted a forum set where people could come. We had a young lady, Nicole, she does the signs, the signs. So it's been an adventure. And I feel like every week I learn something different, and I'm all about learning and growing and knowing. So it's been awesome.
I do love that about your show.
Thank
That
you.
you have different type of people come on, not just of one thing, but beautiful Black people that does all different things and their talent.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
I cannot go on without giving Amber a snap and a shout
Yes.
out.
My Amber. I call her my
Okay.
Amber because she's younger than my children. So I call her look, she's my sister. She's my daughter. She's everything to me. She's such a wonderful, amazing young lady. She's also over here in Germany and doing awesome and great things. And she's so brave. She came over here with her job and she's just doing some wonderful, amazing things. She has a few challenges going on right now, but we praying through it and zooming through that as well.
And what I love about your show on there is one of the main things I do love is Amber's Corner. Y'all got to watch
Oh,
the
that's
show to see it.
my favorites.
I
Yes.
love Amber's Corner. Amber be giving us
Yes.
some tea on some situations. I be
Yes.
like, yes, girl.
Yes, she
And,
does.
and I love her response because the stuff she be saying, that's what I be saying. I be like, yeah, why they do
Exactly.
that?
Exactly. And
I
it's her
love
corner.
that.
I let her, that's her forum. I let her do whatever she want to do in that corner. And it's one of my favorite parts because I know she's going to come out with some good stuff. She's going to come out with some humorous stuff, some stuff to be like, what? So yeah, I love it. I love Amber. She's a jewel that I found.
Yes. Something else I wanted to ask you about too on your show, you are so open with your own stories, sharing your
Yes.
testimony with people of
Mm-hmm.
things that you go through. And I feel like it's one thing to do it in a book, but it's
Right.
another thing when we do it live and in person and we're sharing our story and experience. Um,
Yes.
because there was even one story, one of my favorite stories that you told that was your testimony. It
Uh-huh.
wasn't a story, it was real life.
Right.
But when you was pregnant and you was
Oh,
waiting for your baby daddy to come get you, I was like, oh, and I was crying in tears. I was just like,
yeah.
yeah. How did you find the courage? Because I be sharing my stories too as a host, but I want to ask someone else who does it. How
Yeah.
do you find the courage to just be open and share your story?
I believe transparency is the key. I believe that your anointing is in your testimony. I believe that when you tell your story, it opens up for others to tell theirs. Like you just said, you wanna share your stories. But I've been through a lot, and I'm 55 years old. I remember before my dad passed, he said I made the speed limit, and I will be 55 in June. So I'm one of those people always start that year saying I'm 55. So I feel like I've made the speed limit, and I've been through some things, and I can teach some things. I just believe that everything that you learn in life, you're supposed to share it. You're supposed to tell somebody. It's not for everybody, and to be honest with you, I have to be led. I don't just get on and say, well, I'm gonna talk about this tonight. If the conversation come up, I'm just led to be open. I watch another young lady on Facebook Live. Her name is Chanel Walker, and she's in Mobile, Alabama. And she's one of the realest people I have ever come across in my life. I mean, she has no filter. She has no decorum. She just spills it all out. And for you to say that I'm transparent, I look at her and be like, "Ooh, one day I'm gonna be like her." But I know that everything that you do has to be done decent and in order. So I'm led, and I also like to protect the people that have been in my life. I don't like to even my books, I write my books fiction, and I call them fiction and truth. But I don't have to put the real names and the real people because I'm not out to destroy anybody. I'm not out to make anybody look bad. It's just like you're watching a TV show. It don't necessarily have to be that person's story, but you still can feel it. So I get the stories out there, and hopefully they'll reach who they're supposed to reach. Groom, prune, edify, covenant, all of that. I just want to be transparent enough to where who needs to hear it can hear it and grow from it.
Hey, look, snaps to that. Amen. Look, and we got some comments. People are awesome.
Hey,
We got a
Sheena.
shout, yes, a shout out for Amber. Yes, Amber.
Yes,
Yes,
Amber. Yes,
Amber.
Amber.
Yes, share and encourage. They
Yes.
show is dope. Dope like a bag of chips, girl. I know that's right. They
Thank
show is
you.
dope.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
can relate, girl. We all can relate. And what I really, and then my mom and I really got attached to your show because we love how your show and our show are showing that women can work together.
Yes.
It's possible. And not only that, age ain't nothing but a number.
That's it.
You
That's
know,
it.
because they
That's it.
always act like, my generation and your generation have so many problems.
No, we can
But
all
we're
come together.
showing it's possible through our shows
Yes.
how we have it. Y'all have the girl talk, y'all tapping your glasses together. She's
Exactly.
giving her point of view, you giving your point of view. And it shows it's possible. And that's what I really love about y'all's show. To encourage women, it's possible. No matter
It's
what age you
possible.
are, no matter what you're doing, we can both shine together. We can
That's
both
right.
grow together. So snaps
That's
to you
right.
for that.
Thank you. I always say it's not about competition, it's about collaboration. And we can all come together, we can all eat, and we can all survive, and we can all help and build each other. And I believe my mission as a person, I've always said, is my mission as a person. I've been doing hair over 30 years, and my mission as a person is to build the women and to help them see themselves how I see them. Because a lot of times we look in the mirror and our mirror will lie to us. We don't see what others see. And I even tell women when I'm counseling or mentoring women in their marriages or with their mates, your mate is your mirror. Once you leave out of that mirror, he's the one that's got to look at you. So, when women say, well, he don't want me to cut my hair, or he want me to keep my hair. Well, he's your mirror. And I believe every woman dresses when they're in a relationship or if they're dating, even if they're not, you dress to be validated. We say we don't, but when we get dressed, we want somebody to say, oh, you look pretty. Oh, that's cute what you have on. That's pretty. So once we get out of that mirror, we can't see ourselves as others see us. So my mission is to help you see yourself how I see you, and that's beautiful and brilliant and bold and fearfully and wonderfully made. All the good things. You're the gift. You're the pearl. You're the ruby. So, and a lot of times women have been so battered and torn and beaten down until they can't see the diamond that's in the rough, or the diamond that's being refined. So I just want my sisters to know, hey, we're the gift, we were made, from his ribs so that we could be his helpmate. That's a gift. Now, when you're a gift, someone can either accept a gift or reject the gift. But whatever it is, you know that you're the gift, and you don't let anybody mistreat you or harm you or, down you, or devalue you. I tell my daughter all the time, you have to know your value, and no one else can know your value if you don't know it. No one else can know your value if you don't know it.
Go ahead, look. And this is how she is on her show, y'all. It gets that deep, that real. You done dropped some wisdom gems on me. She done brought some gems and dropped them here.
You're
And I took
sweet.
all of it. And I love how you said, I never heard nobody say it that way. I got to give you credit when you said that God gave us women as a gift when he
You're
said
the gift.
Adam's helpmate. That is daggone true. Took me
You're
a
the gift.
long time to realize that.
You're the gift.
Here's the gift.
We come in all beautiful packaging. All of our packaging is beautiful. When you get a gift under the Christmas tree, they're not all exactly the same shape, but they're all a gift. And we also have the gift of influence if we unwrap it and know how to use it. We have the gift of influence. We can influence somebody to go the right way, or we can influence someone to go the wrong way. And I've been in predicaments where I have influenced the wrong way. And in my younger days, I haven't always been this person. But I always say, when you know better, you do better. Now, I was a young woman. I got hurt. If you read my books, I got hurt in love at a young age. I probably shouldn't have even been in love. But my parents were high school sweethearts, and they say children are going to be what they see. And I looked up to my mom and dad as the perfect union. They got married in high school. They both had great jobs. They're working. They're building. I can do this same thing. But all men are not cut from the same cloth. All women are not cut from the same cloth. So you can't look at someone else's relationship and just think, oh, that's what I want. Even though your desire doesn't mean that the other person desire, because that person is coming from a whole nother household that they looked up to that was totally different. You know, their dad was abusing the mom, their dad was an alcoholic. So, and when that person comes with me, he bringing all that baggage. And I'm bringing all of my good stuff, and he's bringing all of his bad stuff. And when he starts to mimic what he saw growing up, I'm like, what's that? And then your hero turns into a monster overnight. He go from baby, sweetheart, love, I love you so much. Can you give me a cup of coffee? To one day you wake up, he's like, go get my coffee. You like, wait a minute now. But you have to pay attention to all the warning signs. And I tell my friends and my people that I mentor all the time that when you see the tip of the red flag, you know the whole flag is there. You don't have to see the whole flag waving and beating you across your head. And I used to tell my kids, when you see crazy, you don't walk up on crazy. You cross the street, jump the fence, and go a whole nother direction. You don't walk up on crazy.
That is so true.
But I said all that to come back and say that I used to be the person to say out loud to people, I'm never going to be faithful to one person. I'm going to always have me a spare tire. I used to say that with my lips out loud because I had been so broken, and it wasn't an excuse. My wrong was my wrong. And you can't let people come into your life and bring you to their level. You need to bring them up to your level. And, I was doing some things, and I never got caught in the things that I was doing. But one day I looked in that mirror, and I did not even know myself anymore. My whole life was a lie. And it was like, what are you doing? This is not your purpose. You have a divine purpose, and this is not it. And I just had to come to Jesus in a meeting and get myself together.
That was powerful.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm really feeling like a fan, y'all, because I feel like I'm getting it live one-on-one with me. I mean, y'all still watching, but I'm feeling special.
I appreciate that. You're beautiful.
Thank you. Let me read some of these comments because we did get comments.
Okay.
Hello, ladies. Yes, encourage one another. Yes, we need more of that. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. We got snap.
Snap.
All that. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to add my last question for you about the show is, what do you hope that your viewers get out of watching you on your show?
I hope my viewers can get confidence, peace, joy, laughter. I want them to feel like the mission says. I want them to be able to release. When you're watching, I want you to woosah, exhale, and you know what? Things are not as bad as they seem, and trouble don't last always. And if you walk in love and compassion, or you release love in every situation, God has a responsibility to take over because He is love. And if we walk and if we be the change that we want in our communities, in our homes, on our jobs, in our churches, everywhere that we go, if we be the change that we want, we can change this community in our world one person at a time. And I'm not just saying that. I truly believe that with all of my heart. I believe that the way you carry yourself, integrity, the way you walk, the way you talk, your smile may be the only thing that someone sees good in a day. And I do my little quotes and I say, your smile is not even for you. Your smile, because you can't even see it. You can feel it, but you can't see it if you're walking around. But your smile is not even for you. It's for the next person so that they can feel your joy and your peace and your kindness and your gentleness. And people need that. I was part of a group. It's called Venting or Vent Below. And I won't say anything that happened, but something happened. And this woman, she vented and the sisters just viciously attacked her. And I prayed, I said, God, how do I go in here? How do I fix this without being attacked and without hurting someone's feelings, but with letting them know that you have to walk in love and compassion. You don't kick somebody when they down. If I come to you and vent to you and say, I'm in a situation, this person has hurt me, what do I do? The first thing you don't say is, you stupid. You knew he wasn't no good, or you should have never did it. That's not what you do. She's already down, or he's already down. They already know that they've made a mistake. They already know that they've gotten themselves in a tangled up situation. So you come in and you say, okay, let's see how we can do this. How can I help you? How can I make you feel better? Is this going to what can I say to shake her gently, to let her know that you deserve better? And also, I want people to own up to their own mistakes. I've learned to say, I did that, because it sets you free. Even with my kids, I didn't try to be a holy roly and act like I was perfect. And I let my kids know the mistakes that I made, so that they didn't have to go down that same road. If they decided to go down that road, they could. But I let them know, hey, I've been down that road. It's dark down there. You don't want to get stuck down there. You don't want to run out of gas down there. You can get hurt. You can get tortured. You do not want to go down that road. So I'm going to tell you why, because I was there. And if they decide to go, then it's not on me. But a lot of times we hide the things that we've come through. We try to suppress it. We don't want nobody to know. Oh, I've been this perfect person, and we're never perfect. We every day we do something that's, not right. That's why you constantly have to say, forgive me, help me, show me, walk with me, guide me, lead me, because we can't do it by ourselves. But if I try every day to analyze myself daily, because if you let a day pass, you're going to let something slip. Every day I say, okay, Daphne, did you say this right? Did you say that right? Did you hurt somebody's feeling? Was somebody offended? And I tell my kids, if somebody comes to me and say, you offended me, my first thing is not to be defensive. My first thing is to say, if I offended you, that was not my intention, and I apologize. That wasn't my motive. That's not what I meant. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, this is how I saw it. Because, like you say, people can see two different things. My dad used to tell a story about the man that walked down the street. He had on hat. On one side, his hat was green, and on one side, his hat was red. Well, these two guys were walking, and they both passed, and these two guys got in a fight over the color of the man's hat, and both of them were right. Because one passed on one side of him, he saw the green side. The other one passed on the other side of him, he saw the red side. So instead of them saying, well, wait a minute, let's check this out, they got into a fight because they knew one of them was lying, had to be. But they both were right.
Oh, my goodness.
So I want them to get from my show love. I want them to be educated. I don't want any falsehoods. Me and Amber, we try to be real correct on checking our facts. And if we're not sure, we'll say, I'm not sure on that, or don't quote me on that. But we want them to see what's happening in reality. And we want them to know that other people's delusions is not our reality. Like all the stuff that happened with the insurrection and the all of that stuff that happened, on the Capitol Hill and all that was delusional, Some people was delusional, and we ain't gonna get into that because that's a whole other show.
I know, right?
But I'm just saying, other people's delusion is not your reality. You don't have to agree with somebody. And a lot of times we do that. We agree with people to fit in. Mm-hmm. You don't have to agree with people to fit in. Stand your ground, sit your ground. To be like I say, Rosa Parks, she sat for what she stood for. Stand for something or you'll fall for anything. That's it.
I love that.
Most definitely.
I gotta make sure y'all see her show, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna put the link in the comments so y'all can go follow their page and watch the show, because I enjoy it, and I wouldn't be talking about it with her or ask her to come on the show if I didn't support and love it. So,
and I feel so blessed that you watched it. Thank you.
I watch faithfully.
Thank you.
Yes. So,
yes, Jennifer. Jennifer says we disagree to agree, and that's true. We can disagree to agree. Yes, most definitely.
Not only, everyone, is she the host of a show, but as she said before, she is an author as well. So I got 2 golden tickets of having her on the show. I got to ask the question about being a host, and now I'm about to ask her about being an author.
Yes.
Okay. So, how many books do you have? Let's start there.
I actually have 4 books published, and I have one that I'm done with that I'm about to publish. But the first one was the fragrant. No, the first one was You Can't Smell Shit When It's Covered with Roses. That was that was my first book. And the shit in the books mean a contemptible person pretending to be something that they're not. It's in Webster, it's in the dictionary. So I kind of did a play on words, you know. So, and then the second book is The Fragrance of Deceit Stinks. But this year, no, 2020, for my birthday in June, I did a book relaunch. I went and I changed the name of the very first book to The Fragrance of Deceit, because I got with a marketer, I got a brander, hired somebody to help me with my book, a book coach. And she felt that it would be better to, of course, change the name. It'd be better for marketing. And when you hire a brander or a marketer, you have to listen to them. And so I listened. So now on Amazon, I have the first book, and then I have The Fragrance of the Deceit Stink. This is a limited edition copy. And then I have the 2 books that were redone, the relaunch, and these are the covers for those books. And it's The Fragrance of Deceit, and then The Fragrance of Deceit Stinks. And then the third book in this trilogy is I Know That Scent Well. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
you want to have 5 then?
Yes.
So when you have 5, I don't know if you watched the show, but you got to hit us up.
I will.
Because we like to encourage authors to keep on writing. And when you hit 5 books, you are a book queen.
Wow.
Yes.
Get my book published.
Yes. And when you hit 10 books, you a boss queen. We got titles for 10,
I like
20, that. 50, 70. You know, we got 4 different titles.
Right.
And you got to let us know so we can celebrate with you on being a book queen. And we even tell people to put that on their name. And soon, this spring or towards the summer, all the book queens and them will be receiving shirts from us because we're about to start making shirts.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yes, so we'll be giving them shirts as a congratulations for your accomplishment.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm such a meticulous when it comes to my books. So it's my first book. I wrote my book. I was named after an author, first of all. My mom named me after an author. And I've always been good in writing. I always would write stuff down. And then when I was ordained, when I started writing my sermons down, that made me write more. But when you think about it, I've been a hairstylist for over 30 years. I did get an associate's degree in theology, but my main thing has been doing hair. So a lot of my stories and a lot of my ideas and stuff come from just standing behind the chair, talking to women for over 30 years. And you'd be surprised at what women will release and what they've been through and how comfortable they are with their hairstylist. I remember when I first got ordained, a friend of mine was in the hospital and I was like, I want to be a chaplain. I want to be a chaplain so bad. So the chaplain came in to speak with her while I was there. And I said, when I talked to the chaplain, I said, well, can I speak with you after you finish with the patient? And she was like, sure. So we walked out and we went to the cafeteria and we sat down. I was like, I'm just so excited. I want to be a chaplain. I just got ordained and I just want to just get the word out. I just want to, help people. And she says, well, what do you do now? And I said, I'm a hairstylist. She said, do you know you'll reach more people standing behind that chair than I ever will with the title chaplain? She said, because see, when you're doing their hair and they're in your chair and you're standing behind them and they're telling you what they're going through, they're going to be so shocked when you say, well, I know somebody who specializes in great outcomes. I know somebody who will never leave you or forsake you. I know somebody who will bring you joy in the morning. I know somebody, it might be the 11th hour of 59th second, but he'll show up in the midnight hour. So she's saying, the chaplain is saying, so think about that. And I look at everything that I do pretty much as a ministry. I haven't been in the pulpit since I came to Germany in years, but every day is a ministry to me. So, it's in me, and it goes back to everything is to walk in love and to show people. And sometimes the way you live your life is the only Bible somebody will see. Somebody will see how you live your life and say, you know what? I'm gonna see what's going on with her because it's something about her, and I like her, and I like her aura and her spirit. I want to get to know what she's up to, So I don't put it on my show. Oh, I'm a minute. I never do that because I don't get into titles because I feel like I want to be approachable. I want somebody to be able to come to me and feel easy enough to relate, and then they can elevate. But when you have all the titles and I'm this and the PhD and the MBD and all this, people's like, oh, I can't reach. She's not approachable. I can't reach her. Yeah, anybody can come talk to me. I'm here. You need to talk to somebody if I'm available. And most of the time I am because I'm single. I'm having kids. I'm not in a relationship. So 24 hours, I'm pretty much, hey, on call, and it's okay, So, yeah.
It makes sense to me now after hearing you talk why I felt so of all of you and felt like a certain connection with you. And it makes sense why God put you on this journey for me to see you.
Wow.
And I'm gonna break it down for you. So
okay.
one, I'm a hair shop baby, which means I grew up in the hair shop. My mom was a hair stylist. So when you're talking about being the person that hear what they're talking about, I was the kid where the parents said, okay, you gotta go in the back. We haven't gone for a top. And I would get my mom's curlers for her so she could set it up for her people and play it outside while they was doing, the women's hair. My mom cut the men's beard and stuff like that. So I grew up in the hair shop.
Wow.
So when you were saying all that stuff, I knew exactly what you meant.
Right. Yeah.
And then you talked about being a minister. I was a youth minister.
Wow.
So
I can see that.
I was a youth minister, and I was one of them ones that I changed my mind, but God still called me back. So
exactly.
I changed my mind, and I used my show to show God's light in me through people to show that us Christian people, we still have fun. Might be clean fun, but we still have fun.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it makes sense when I look at you and I feel that spiritual connection with you and hearing about you, and then you're an author too.
Yeah,
it's like, Arthur Daphne, I want to be you when I grow
up. You're so sweet.
But it just makes sense, and that shows you that sometimes, as we always say, sometimes when you go through things and when God have you do things, you don't know why he's having to go through that. It might not always be for you. It's for other people to see.
Exactly.
And for you was one of the people that I got to see.
Wow.
Because you encouraged me a lot. So I love hearing your story because it breaks it down to why I feel that certain connection with you.
Wow.
So keep doing what you're doing, sister, because I know I'm not the only one.
I will do it. I will continue to do it. I will continue to do it. And I'm pretty amazed with you as well. I watched your show from last week, and I forget the author's name, but I know her show is Black Girls also.
Yeah, Black Girls Right.
Yeah, Black Girls Right. And so I want to start watching your show and getting into your show as well.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Because you are such a joy, and you know how to bring it out. You know how to bring it to the people, and that's what we need.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you too, because a little bit more about your books.
Okay.
So what kind of genre would you say your book is?
Well, my books is romance, a little. I wouldn't say it's a little erotic because it has some sex in it, not much, and it's clean sex. Because I wrote it real. I always tell people I wrote my books real, and the reviews always come back and say, "Girl, you had me crying or you had me laughing so hard. I was wanting to use the bathroom. Girl, I couldn't even put your book down. I wish I could drive and read your book." One girl said, she said, "Girl, I was trying to be in the shower and had the book laying to the side." So most people, it takes them a minute to read the book. One of my coworkers, she said, when I first wrote my book, she says, "I'm going to buy your book because I want to support you. But I'm telling you now, I'm in school and I'm busy and I'm not going to be able to read it." So I was like, "That's fine. I understand. I get books all the time and can't read them right away." And so one day she came back in and she said, "Girl, I'm about to get fired." I said, "Why?" She said, "Girl, because I'm not to be late for work trying to read your book." And so that's the type of reaction I get from my books. And like I said, when I wrote my books, I poured everything into my books. My books actually healed me from having a broken heart. I always say that my heart has keloid on it. And so when I wrote my books, I was I felt every emotion, and I know that I felt it, and that it was supposed to be in the book, and it was anointed, because when the people talk about the book, they talk about every emotion that I felt. Some people want to fight, you know. So all of that's in the book. So if you want it, somebody sent me a review a couple of weeks ago, and she said, if you want to read this book, make sure you have time. Don't start reading it when you got to do something. Make sure you have some time set aside, you know, maybe a glass of wine in your reading nook, and you have time to sit and read it. So, and it's pretty short. It's 266 pages. So I try to do most of my books with at least, I stopped at 266 with my book because I was born in 1966. So everything with me is numbers, and I try to, you know, look at numbers for everything that I do. And so, yeah. And then I wrote my books in Germany. When I left for Germany in 2014, my son was here. He was in the Air Force, and that's how I got to Germany. And I stayed here, and my father got sick, so I went back home. So I felt like my journey was cut short. Well, when Daddy passed, I was in such a battle and such a fighting with the doctors and the hospital and, you know, the attorneys, because like you said, it was a medical malpractice that he passed away. So a year and a half after he passed, I just decided that I needed new scenery, new grounds, you know, and I decided to come back to Germany. And I am world traveled. I've been to maybe 15 different countries. And of course, COVID stopped my traveling, but to be able to travel like I have, it's changed me from the inside out. Because when I watch TV, movies and stuff, and they were shot in Morocco or shot in Paris or shot in London, you know, now I know the background, I know the scenery, you know, I was like, I've been there. I took a picture in front of that, you know. So, and that's another thing I want to encourage anybody that's watching, and you as well. If you get a chance to travel out of the country, I mean, I know now COVID has us all locked down, but if you ever get a chance to travel, do it, because it will change the way you look at things. It changes, you know, when you see other people's culture, you know, it makes you appreciate your culture and value other people's, you know. So I'm just happy that I've had this opportunity to travel and be here in Germany, you know.
I love that. Okay. I hope we get to travel. My mama want to travel so bad. So
Well, y'all have to. Once COVID is over, you know, trouble don't last always. So we know this is going to pass. We just don't know when, but it's going to pass. And we will be back to normal, and maybe a new normal, but it's going to happen.
So for your book, is it a series? Because I noticed the title is like,
it's a series. It is.
So what it's like, can you give me a little bit of tea? Because, you know, Sister Goose always trying to get some tea. Can you give me a little bit of tea on this main character in your book? Like, what's her name? What kind of chick would you describe her as?
Donisha is a boss chick. Her name is Donisha Jones, and she is something for the people. She's been through a lot in her life, and she's just at a place in her life where she's not taking no more drama. She has zero tolerance for nonsense, and it's just things that don't make sense. And the first book, the setting is in a dance community. Donisha, I wrote her as a dance two-stepper. And she would go to these different dance functions and dance things in the dance community. And of course, she meets a Bobo, so this dude, and she's not feeling him at all. She's not feeling the guy at all. But he hounds her and hounds her and hounds her for months and months and months. And then Donisha has this sisterhood that she's around, and everybody knows she hasn't dated in years. She's been celibate, practicing abstinence, and they're like, you know, you need to open up. You need to open your heart. This man is, you know, after you. He's doing this. He's doing that. And in her heart, Donisha knew this character. She knew that this guy wasn't right. But because she let others get in her head and not follow what she already knew, God, the spirit, something told her something about him. She could not figure it out. Anyway, long story short, she gets entangled, and you know, a whole lot of stuff starts to happen and unravel. So that's the first book. And now the second book is Donisha trying to recover and heal from what happened to her in the first book. So she's on a journey of recovery. And I always talk about that when I talk about my books. I write my books to bring hope and healing to the brokenhearted. And what people don't understand is when someone's heart is broke, it's just like going into surgery and having heart surgery. And you come out of that surgery, and you're under anesthesia because you've been knocked out, you've been put to sleep. And then you have to come back to reality that, hey, I may not never be the same person that I was before. I got to take it slow. I got to be in recovery. Can't nobody come and see me right now because I don't want nobody to see me looking like this. And then you start to heal. Well, it's still, even after you release from the hospital, you still have to recover. Well, heartbreak, there's a recovery period. You have to go through recovery. You have to go with rehab, learning how to walk, talk, think different, because you've been merged with this person and now you're ripped apart again. So now you're by yourself and you have to figure out, where do I go next? You're starting all over again, mentally, physically, spiritually, And so that's the journey that she's on in the second book. So the second book is a timeline of why she was the way she was in the first book. It's starting from like when she was a little girl into high school, what she wanted to be, her first love, her first heartbreak, then her job, how somebody was mean to her on her job, and then college and then school, all the things that she went through up into, where she's at for the third book. And then the third book is where she's just now getting her footing and she's doing things that she loved to do and she's recovered, so yeah.
I love that. Yeah, we need to get these books, y'all.
Yeah, I try to tell it without giving you the nuggets in it, but it's some twists and turns in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
go ahead. I was gonna say, and Donisha, she's meek, she's humble, she's sweet, but there's another side of her in the book. So as it is in most of us, if you hurt people. So
yes.
it's some good stuff in there. It's good.
Okay. So I was just going to say, me being Sister Goose, I still be trying to get some tea, y'all. Y'all know I be thirsty. So I'm going to try to get me some more tea.
Okay.
By asking you, what is next for you, sis? What's next for you as a host, as an author? Like, what do you plan on doing next? If you want to drop something here, you can. We open for the tea.
Well, I'm going to release my next book. So that's coming really, really soon. It's done. It's just a matter of just when is the right time to release it, with COVID and everything. And I actually want to take my talk show to another level. I'm on Facebook Live and Instagram Live. I want to be like Oprah. I want to take it to TV. I want to be on Channel 11, Channel 26, Channel 2, so so I'm hoping and praying and wishing and trying to do the work that's, maybe someone will see us. No, not maybe. Someone will see us and pick us up,
Yes.
And I would even like to do, and I haven't said this openly, and I'm going to say it out loud and put it out there. I would love to do some acting. I would love to do some acting. I would love to do some acting because I've done 2 major plays years ago, but they were great productions. And I would love to see my books into TV shows.
Hey, well, from authors that I have talked to, you can make it happen yourself if you're good at doing your
screen print,
producers and everything. Because there was one female on here, well, 2 females on here that we have that produce their own stuff on YouTube, and they got like 10,000, 11,000 watchers.
Ooh, wow.
So who knows?
Who knows? So that's what we're working on. And me and Amber, we want to start a cartoon as well. We've already done our characters. So now we just got to give them a voice and, and put that in motion as well. So we're working on some things.
Yeah, look, speaking into the atmosphere.
Yes, I say, let me say it out loud. Yeah, as I say, I've learned, one of my good friends, Allie West, she's an author as well. And she is a firm believer in you speak. She says everything after I am is created. So I am a talk show host, and that's what I wanted to be as a little girl. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be a newscaster. I wanted to get the news out. And they say you can almost pretty much determine what your purpose or what your destiny is in life is, and what you wanted to be as a child before you were clouded with what your mama wanted you to be and what your daddy wanted you to be and what your friends wanted you to be. So I always wanted to be a journalist. And the funny part about that is my mom always wanted to be a hairstylist. So my mom wanted to be a hairstylist. I became a hairstylist. I wanted to be a journalist. My youngest son, he was a broadcast journalist in the Air Force. So it's almost like the seed picks it up, So I think about that and say, whatever you decide you want to be, your kids may pick that up. Your seed may pick that up. And I'm a firm believer that if it's something you want to do and God has placed it on your heart, work at it. You don't have to work. You don't have to wait till all the I's is dotted and all the T's is crossed. Sometimes you just got to get out there and do it. Like with the show, we started the show with the what is it, tablet, and then all the other stuff came. So sometimes you just have to do it, and everything else will just come. You make the first step, and God will do the rest. And so if you're out there and you're sitting on something, now is the time to make it happen.
Yes,
life is all you have. Yeah. Time is what you have. Time is your gift. And you need to make good use with your time.
Yes.
Wasted time is valuable. You can get money back. You can get cars back. You can't get your time back. And you don't know how much time you have. I say this all the time. I keep a ticking clock in my house because I want to hear that clock tick, because that clock ticking lets me know that I'm ticking. People get away from ticking clocks. Like, we have our phones and we have our, analog and all of that. But you have to have something to remind you daily. You on time. You on borrowed time. And you don't know when your time is up.
Never know.
And we don't think about that. I said this, and some people think it may be harsh, but I said, I live because I know I'm dying. No, I'm not sick. Thank God I'm healthy. But I know that part of my life is death. And that's another reason why I wrote a book. Because guess what? A book never dies. When I leave here, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, my great-great-grandkids, they can have this book. It's an entity that never dies. Yes. So write a book, and you always say, they say your dreams should surpass your life. If you're not dreaming bigger than your life, like meaning bigger than if you die and it doesn't continue, you're not dreaming big enough. You're not dreaming big enough.
And when I said I was going to keep that in mind, I'm talking about you being an actor. I'm going to keep that in mind.
Thank you. When you need me, call me.
Sister Deuce is trying to work on some things. So I'm going to keep that in mind. Okay?
I'm telling you, I just spoke it out. I want to do some acting. So let's bring it.
I love to act too. I love it too. I love to pretend. I love to pretend to be other people and have fun.
Right.
So I feel you on that. So one day, God gonna have us both acting, doing some things.
Exactly.
Who knows? I might be where you at. You might be where I'm at. Something gonna happen.
Exactly. Let's claim it together. Let's have synergy right now. Synergy.
Whether 2 or 3 are gathered in His name.
There you go. There you go.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
So my final question before we do tea time, because I know I'm going to have her do some tea time before we leave.
Okay.
So my final question for your viewers, for your readers, for the people who look up to you, what do you want them to know about you as a person and not just the author and the host? What do you want them to know about you as a person, as a woman? What do you want them to know about you?
I want them to know that I am a free spirit. I'm fun loving. I love God with all my heart. I am a builder. I build my sisters and my brothers if I can. I love my children. My children are my why, and my grandchildren surpasses that. I love my grandchildren. My oldest grandson just made 15 yesterday. He's 6'6". He's a freshman in high school, and he's on the varsity basketball team. And I love my family. I've always been family oriented. My kids will tell you, don't mess with my kids. If you say my kids, say my name before. That's Daphne's son or that's Daphne's daughter. Don't play with my children. Don't play with my seed. I can talk about them, but you can't, So, but I want them to know that I am trying to be a good person. I'm trying to get this thing called life right. I'm trying to lead by example. I'm trying to love my neighbors as I love myself. I do long for a romantic partner in my life, and I'm hoping that God will bless me with someone because I don't want to live my life alone. I've been alone a long time, and I want to share my life. I have a lot of love to give, but I want to give it to somebody who's going to appreciate it and not appreciate it after I'm gone. I want them to appreciate it while I'm in their lives, and I've come across that a lot in my life where people appreciate me after I'm gone. And that's about it. I want to go higher in all that I do. I want to do my best. I had a young lady on my show a couple of weeks ago. She says, I want to be known for doing the most. And I want to be known for loving the most. I want my legacy to be a legacy of love, she gave all she could. She saw somebody in need, she helped them. She was there. So that's Daphne, most definitely, mostly Daphne. Yes.
I love that. Yes. So before you go on this show, we
Okay.
like to do something called tea time.
Okay.
And tea time is where either we take the person that we're interviewing and make it a topic off of them or their book, whether it's a phrase, the character, or we use a situation and bring it to life. But we make a free topic to talk about.
Okay.
So you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, y'all.
All
It's my mama's favorite time of the show.
Let me get my tea.
So I decided for your tea time question, we're going to base the topic off of you, from what I've seen from you as a show host and everything else. I think this is the perfect question for you.
Okay.
And feel free for our viewers to ask this question for yourself as well. And y'all can leave it in the comments and I'll read them as well if y'all want to join in.
Okay.
What would you tell yourself now from that little person that you was before? What would you tell yourself now?
I would tell myself, be a little selfish, focus on you, and you matter. Don't give it all away so soon. Don't give your diamond away for a McDonald's hamburger. Be you. Love you. Learn you before you can learn somebody else. And that's what, and a lot of times we don't do that. We give it all away. And before you know it, you're lost. You're lost in the midst of all of the, and I was talking about the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. The enemy wants to get you at a teenager at 17 years. He wants to break your heart at 17. He wants to tear you down in your 20s. He wants to terrorize you in your 30s. He wants to get the husband dossier, the children, the parents dossier, and just mash you up. So when you get to the place where you're supposed to be in your moment, you miss your moment. So that's what I would tell myself. Don't miss your moment. Because I know the enemy doesn't care if it stopped me before I get to my mark or if it pushed me past my mark because I'm so busy. Because the enemy knows if I reach that mark, that greatness is going to come out of me. It's just going to spill out of me. So his whole mission is to not let you reach that mark of your higher calling, your destiny, your moment. And that's what I would tell myself. When I got married young and got pregnant, I would tell myself, no, go to school, get your education, get your master's, get your PhD, buy your own first home. These are the things that I would do differently, I think. I have no regrets, but if I had a do-over, then that's what I would do different. I would be a little selfish because I've been selfless my entire life, and people want to make you feel some type of way because you're selfless, or no, people want to make you feel some kind of way because if you tend to be selfish, but you have to take care of self before you can take care of anybody else.
Yes. I love that. Your bad son. Look, my son all looking up in there.
I am. How old is your baby?
Yes. He's 5 and my daughter's 6.
Okay, cool.
Yep, 6 and 5-year-olds.
Oh, you got babies.
Yeah, baby.
15-year-old grandson, 15, 11, 9, and then a 2-year-old grandson. Both my sons. My daughter hasn't had any kids yet. Okay. So I'm hoping she'll give me my granddaughter because I have all grandboys, and so hopefully she'll give me a girl.
Well, and over here, there's only 1 grandson and 3 granddaughters.
Wow.
Yeah, my parents got 1 grandson and 3 girls. So
wow, and no more is coming.
Not from here, no. I mean,
you have other siblings?
I do. She got the 2 girls, and I'm the one that's blessed with 1 of each.
Okay.
Me and my husband is thinking about adopting down the line.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Possible. But as far as physical, it ain't happening.
Kitchen clothes.
It ain't happening. No.
Right.
For me, on the tea time question, what I would tell myself is to embrace your disability, because my disability for learning was dyslexia.
Okay.
And I had a hard time accepting that.
Right.
And I would try to hide that I had that issue,
Right.
from a lot of people. But
Right.
once I learned to embrace it, I didn't know the gift that God gave me because of it. Because when I did my sermons, I never used paper.
Wow.
I never used paper.
Wow.
I did my sermon all off of memory because I didn't want to read my sermon and trip myself up. But I didn't realize how big of a gift that was.
That was a gift.
I didn't realize it until I had to speak for Good Friday. It was my first Good Friday I ever did. I was 19 years old. I was scared out of my pants. And not only that, but I was the first person to go up.
Wow.
And I said, oh, Lord,
I'm so nervous.
So I went up there, did my sermon, and I like to use props.
Okay.
So I used the high heel and the shoe, and I did it. And then when I was done, I left. And my pastor went up behind me, and he's looking on the pulpit like, okay. And I'm like, what the heck is he doing?
Right.
And then he told everybody, and he said, this girl only came up here with the bulletin.
And spoke out your heart and tore it up.
No paper, no nothing.
Wow.
And then they found out the secret that I never used paper. I never did.
That's a gift.
But I didn't know that was a gift that God gave me because of my dyslexia. Even in school, when it came to doing presentations, I never used paper.
Wow.
Even when I did my senior project that everybody have a hard time with.
Exactly.
I had the highest grade in my classroom for that. I never used paper when I did that. And if I would have embraced it, I would have noticed the gift sooner that God gave me. Because what people saw as a gift, I just saw it as that was just me.
Exactly.
Just me. But no, it's a gift. And
it's a gift.
As I embraced that gift, I was able to help other people who had learning disabilities to show them, don't let that stop you.
Exactly.
I write a book now. Okay.
Exactly.
I'm about to relaunch my book. I'm doing the show. I write my questions. It's possible. I make my flyers and I still got dyslexia, but I learned the tools that I needed.
Exactly. And you know what? We all have some form of disability. I have all of my kids were in private school, not so much because I wanted them in private school, but I wanted them to learn how they learn. And once you learn how you learn, you can learn anything. Exactly. But that's the problem. Everybody don't learn the same way, so we all have some type of disability.
Yes.
Like you say, we just have to learn ourselves. That's what I was saying earlier. I would learn me, I would get to know Daphne because she's a pretty cool girl. I love her now. I like her, but I think probably the first 25, 30 years of my life, I wore clothes I didn't like. I ate food I didn't like because I was a people pleaser. I was trying to please everybody around me. And where are all those people now? All the men that I tried to be the perfect woman for and all of that, where are they now? So love yourself. Like one of my friends, she was saying this weekend, she says since it's Valentine's and it's Love Week, and she was saying one of the greatest songs that Whitney Houston song was learning to love yourself is the greatest gift of all. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. Who know Whitney? Whitney had the magic,
She did.
Years ago. And it's so crazy because I sung that song. I led my 8th grade class graduation in that song, and still just this week I got the answer to she had the magic. Learning to love yourself is the greatest gift of all.
It really, really is. Mm-hmm. It really, really is. And once you love yourself, can't nobody tell you.
Yeah, that's like what? No, like you say, how Amber asked the question. What? No, I don't think so.
I know. Look, my mama said she used to laugh at me because when I was growing up, I was like that. I had big confidence, and she said, "I don't know where you got it from because I didn't put it in there. Your daddy didn't put it in there." And people would say stuff to me, and I'd be like, "What? All that in a bag of chips. You better get up out of here." Exactly. And I'd be like, "Y'all lucky to be in my presence."
Exactly. I'm the queen,
Right?
Exactly.
My mom and my sister be laughing at me. They be like, "I don't know what we're gonna do with this girl. You can't put that girl in no box.
Nope.
You can't.
No box. There's no boxes. I've eliminated the box.
Yes.
And because I've eliminated the box and because I've challenged my fears, I have friends all over the world. When I tell you I have friends all over the world, I truly mean I have friends all over the world. It's probably nowhere that I can't go that I don't know somebody there. And it's a blessing because I said, I'm going to go to a whole nother country and live my life. And I have met some of the sweetest people that you can meet, and I'm glad about it.
That is wonderful.
I'm glad about it. And I try to bring everybody with me. That's why another reason why I do the Most Daphne shows, to bring people that haven't been international. Because as a kid, I didn't think, I want to go to Paris or I didn't think that. Why? Because my parents, they took us on vacation every year. But we went to vacation in the United States, So my daddy never had the desire to go to Europe or Germany or, Prague or, any of the place. He never talked about that. He never left the country. So to be able to come out from amongst thee and do something different is powerful. It's empowering. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the reason that I asked the tea time question is because that's the type of things that Daphne talks about on the Daphne show, okay?
Yes.
That's the type of thing she talks about. And I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of taste because they always sometimes use their own story of their past, but show you the glory of their future, of how God still got them where they are now. So if you enjoyed that tea time question, imagine what you'll get if you go watch their show.
You're so sweet.
And don't just watch their show. Go ahead and check out her book because I know I'm about to. I'm going to go check that book out. Is it on Kindle as well?
It's on Kindle, yes.
I love to read on Kindle.
Yes, get it on Kindle. Right, yes, both of the new books are on Kindle. So yeah.
Okay.
Well, all of them are on Kindle, but the new books are relaunched. I went in and did some different stuff, re-edited. So yeah.
Okay.
I can't wait for a review.
Yes. I'm about to give you the mic. And I'm about to let everyone know where they can go and see your show, the name of the page and all your social media, and where they can go buy your book. So the mic is yours.
I first want to say thank you again. I've had an awesome time. You brought some great things out. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. And I will be supporting your vision as well. You can find me. I am Arthur Daphne Hampton. You can find me on Facebook just under Daphne Hampton. My show is The Most Daphne Show. And then I have an Arthur's page, and it's Arthur Daphne Hampton. You can find me on Instagram at Daphne Writes and on Twitter at Daphne Writes. And you can find my books on my website, and it's just my name, DaphneHampton.com or Amazon.com or any other place where you can buy books. They're there as well. Yay! And thank you in advance for reading my books. And if you get my book, just give me the pleasure, because the best part of being an author is getting a review. The best part to me about being an author is getting a review. If somebody took their time, read your book, and gave you feedback, whether it's negative or good, feedback from your book is a great feeling. That somebody read and I say books are your spirit in word form. So this is my spirit in word form. And I always say your tears are your spirit in liquid form. So when you cry, that's your spirit in liquid form. So learn your spirit.
That is good. I'm still in all of your sayings. Everything you done got. When she said don't give up your diamond for a Big Mac, I'm still I would put that on Facebook. Don't be giving me no diamonds for a Big Mac.
Your diamond for a Big Mac. The tell what they say, God placed everything that's beautiful and that's enriched. He made it deep where you have to dig to get it. Your diamond is deep. He put it in the lower part of your body. He could have put it on your ear, on your head, or on your eye. But he strategically set it in a place that you have to go and look for it, and you have to actually lay on your back to give it up. You have to say, come on in. You have to let it in. So don't give it up. Don't just give it up to anybody.
Exactly. So y'all make sure that you go and support our sister Daphne and Amber. Go watch
and Amber, of course, yes.
Go buy their books. Amber, I'm sorry you couldn't make it, but I'm giving you some kisses, girl.
Amber, you see, I have a picture right there.
Yes, and do you know what this means now that I interviewed you?
What does that mean?
You
Yeah, but
are.
go ahead.
What?
No, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead. You're
I
coming to my, you're gonna let me interview you.
You are now a Black Girls Inc. member.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
I'm loving it.
Which means
That's
you
so
are
sweet.
always welcome to come on our show. And sometimes we even do panels and things like that.
Okay.
So, and I'm planning something for us. I'm gonna make sure we do it around a good time for you because you're the only
Okay.
one that's out of the state.
Right.
Because I'm gonna do a show probably in the spring or this summer where
Okay.
I have all talk show hosts like us get together
Okay.
and we
Oh
talk about
wow.
our shows and how it is hosting a show. And we're going to host, we're going to do our show on each other. We're going to ask each other questions.
Right. Okay. I
Yes.
love it. I love it. And I just want to say this one thing. If anybody's watching and you want to be a part of the Most Daphne Show, you are welcome. We're open to everybody. Like I said, there's no little I's and big U's. Everybody is welcome. And we want you to come on and let your potential be known. Bring it out. Start working. Don't wait. Like you said, we ticking clocks our time. We don't know when our battery is going to stop. So let's get it done. Let's get it
Yeah,
done.
send them a message. They will get back to you because they got
Okay.
back to me.
There you go. Okay. All right.
All right, y'all. Well, it's that time of the show. I hate to have to go, but our time's up.
I know.
But at least we got some good tea today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You are such a blessing. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm your girl, Sister Goose, and
Sister
we are
Goose.
Black Girls Inc. Snap
And
your
I'm Black Girl
fingers.
Inc.
Yay!